Amazing life.
Good afternoon, dear viewers of Gntv. It is a beautiful afternoon of Thursday, 18th of January 2024, and I welcome you to today's edition of Gntv at 12. I'm ATUBANDIIZE taking you throughout this bulletin, and we are proudly sponsored by New Ways Health Limited. In our today's top stories, the Vice President of Uganda, Major Jessica Alupo, highlighted the background of Uganda ever since it joined the non-allied movement, call it NAM. The President of Uganda, His Excellency Museveni, says that the non-allied movement has helped much Uganda to develop. Let's take a look.
The Non-Allied Movement Summit Uganda 2024 is underway at Peak Resort Convention Center, Munyonyo. The Vice President of Uganda, Major Jessica Alupo, opening the meeting, highlighted the vital role in deepening cooperation for global prosperity. Jessica Alupo highlighted how Uganda joined the NAM and so far what they have achieved under this cooperation.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the government of Uganda and the people of Uganda, and indeed on my own behalf, I am pleased to welcome you all to Uganda, and in particular to this ministerial meeting of the 19th Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Non-Aligned Movement. Your presence here, ladies and gentlemen, is an affirmation of the trust and confidence in the leadership of our country to steer the movement in line with the founding principles and promotion of the interests of its membership in a globalized world. I wish to congratulate the Republic of Azerbaijan for its leadership of our movement, especially during the very trying period of the COVID-19 pandemic time. The principle of non-alignment is a constitutional obligation for Uganda and has been a central pillar of our foreign policy. We joined NAM in 1964, only 2 years after independence, due to our conviction about its importance and relevance. Excellencies, the movement principles of sovereignty and sovereign equality of states, territorial integrity, non-intervention and non-interference in the internal affairs of other states are as relevant and important today as they were at its founding. Through the vision and efforts of the founders, colonialism is almost entirely ended except for a few non-self-governing territories. As countries of the Global South, we have regularly come together to discuss issues of common interest and concern. This meeting is yet another opportunity for you to continue with a constructive conversation on these issues. Excellencies, we are cognizant of the fact that this meeting has come at a challenging time for our membership. From the political and diplomatic front to the social and economic, there are many existing new and emerging issues that challenge our individual and collective efforts towards building prosperous and resilient societies. Ongoing geopolitical tensions and conflicts such as the current conflict between Israel and Palestine, Ukraine and Russia, etc., are a matter of concern for all of us. They not only pose challenges to the core principles of our movement, but they have also caused loss of human lives, destruction of property, and contributed to the already precarious humanitarian situation around some parts of the world through internal displacements and creation of refugees. Excellencies, on the social and economic front, many countries still face structural bottlenecks and weaknesses. Infrastructure to support industrialization and trade, such as energy, roads, and rail, is still a challenge. Human capacity to effectively manage the extractive industry is still inadequate and or lacking. Financial resources for quality investment in strategic sectors of the economy, including industrialization and value addition, job creation, are still insufficient. The knowledge and use of ICT platforms for business and individual use is still limited. In addition, there is limited investment, slow progress in industrialization, inadequate production of finished goods and value addition, and limited inter- and intra-regional trade between and among NAM member states. Excellencies, a combination of these bottlenecks, together with other challenges, such as the financial and economic crisis, climate change, recurrent food crisis, energy price volatility, and pandemics, more often than not, render our efforts towards socio-economic transformation futile.
Za Asimwe, GNTV, at 12. Members of Parliament from Bunyoro region also joined other members from different areas to give their views on the sugarcane amendment bills. Among the things they requested to be put on is to let sugar run on the formulary that is designed by the government notas of Soga MPs, where they were recommending forces of demand and supply.
Especially the members of Parliament wa Bunyoro, wakati wale tukimanya tunakuwa kyalero. Chitumomanya kumala submitting. But team yete ya Bunyoro izile, modena chairman wa Masgal wa Bunyoro Robert tukuza to in touch to engaging mumkuja kwa tukumanyire. Na okay tuizile submitting na ito kabakurasi kuhayo ebitekezo byaitu haiteka ndi medio. Nicyo kubanza umuhendo gwebekaijo guhikaho. Tukusaba formula egyo esemezewe abaga mu average sugar price tukwenda tube client sugar price then ekindi rendament egyo rendament ekumanya santimilio sukali rugire mu kaijo ebiseirwe runde ebiriwe kioma tukwenda tulise 10% minimum then sharing percentage yo mulimi na mira ebe at least 60%. Abo ensonga ito ngaba Kenya ebikaijo bikurugamu by products nyingi hari amasanyaraze hari molasses hari fertilizers n'ibindi so ndiki kusaba a pricing then a composition ya council ito ngaba limi tutungire support ntito ku gari government kandi ito investigate muno akaba limi bali bayingi no hectares ibiri ari investor kuya to bano baza mageno bazanka investor ali wa mira wenka baito no monta ine bikaijo hectares ibiri isatu mukyaro nya tonzi ntoma ka bona bali ba investors kandi bo investing with limited support ku gari government so nika tukusabira nti hub council umulimo beho ni representation y'abantu batano then omira abana abantu basatu
As we speak now, the committee is still meeting many other stakeholders in the field of sugarcane in order to come up with acts that will benefit all Ugandans.
Area board hamuna council tutunuliremu haruba members 12 ababalizibwe mu amendment bill ya sugar kandi tutunuramu aba farmers baitu ba constituting to abantu bana aboya akanso government inaho omuntu bamilazi balina abantu bano titwakwetangire habeho abokuba ba farmers bali bayingi muno kandi mu decision making rundi mu kusalawo ekigenda kulibata tukurura haroho some bit of imbalance nabwo kitukusaba at least ba farmers bongerweho position but kandi tutunuliremu na bya environment kuli environment pertinent environment guidance tukuru tubayintusaba ahabeho na government etungeho sinoti eyomuntu akuruga mu environment either commissioner alebya commissioner akuruga mu environment akuruga mu nema nuko tusobole kucapturinga in the social component akururanga the environment byatunurwamu alevena bukwantu kimanya ebikaije bikiro bwingi bibyairwe mu bichweka hali habaire bibira hali habaire amaizi rundi wetlands nabwo ekyo tuina kitunuramu ekyo kandi kiri kintu kikuru muno habwa climatic change yaitu nabwo kitubayintusaba mu positions zero to factoring in position y'omuntu akuruga either mu neighboring environment nuko ensonga ginayesobola kutunulwa.
Honorable Mwinempaka, the chairperson of trade, said they will have to make amendments in the bill so that it can favor every farmer.
But recently they have started. Recently they have started distillery.
Who here amongst you is doing alcohol?
GM sugar, Mayuge sugar.
Iragiro ligenda kwata sukali kuranga balihindwiremu kuranga lyolekere nti emihendo esazirweho habwa obwingi bwa sukali nunda obutaito bwa sukali kandi nze hano nkanyonko mukulembeza wanyu kugamba nti business ya sukali harumu abalimi harumu abakukikora sukali rundi ba millers harumu n'abantu bayingi abali mu business ekyo so kwantu ntubaza haiteke eryo rundi akiragira ekyo tunakurora ngo abantu bano bona abali mu sukali bafuniremu busaho kumigiriza omuntu mugenzi we kandi tukimanyire nti sukali egyo erugamu ebintu bingi kandi itegerezo anti liyeta sugar rundi sukali tunakumanya ngu sukali erugambika icho yensi zindi sukali erundi erugamu beetroot baitito mu Uganda sukali erugambika icho nabwe kitugamba tutita bakulembeze nyonka nyowe Florence ngama nti aiteka lino tunakorora ngu tirimigirize omuntu wena abokwa omulimo gwa MP enakutekaho iteeka rundi ebiragiro ebiganyirwa abantu bona bana Uganda tukimanyira abantu bayingi abakulima ebikaijo busoga bunyoro nahandi hona so iteeka lino tukwenda libe lirimigiriza omulimi webikaijo tukwenda kurora ngu omuhendo gurugire ha 5 ha 10 gweyongereho kataito bayi tusima muno government abokuba ayitu kubaliza omuhendo gwebikaji gweyongeire bayi kandi nagwa etebizibu bindo ko omuhendo gweyongeire abalimi tugenda kwesanga nti bagenda kuteeka munamani kulima ebikaji bewe kulima ebyokulya.
Tuhe Ronald, Gntv at Parliament.
Thank you, Tuhe.
The non-allied movement summit.
Thank you, Tuhe Ronald, for that report from the Parliament. And in another news, Parliamentary Committee of Defense appeared before the committee to look into Ministry of Defense and Internal Affairs budget framework paper. These members were not happy with some issues like passports and prisoners' life. The report.
Parliamentary Committee of Defense appeared before Budget Committee to look into Ministry of Defense and Internal Affairs budget framework papers. The committee members raised concerns on matters of prisons being full, of which Honorable Juliet Basheisha of Metoma District asked the Defense Committee, led by its chairman Honorable Kajwenje and Honorable Dononzio Kahonda, to respond on behalf of the Defense Committee. While presenting, Honorable Juliet asked if cameras on the roads are working and also why government is not using them to get people who break laws, as it could increase income for the people.
Are we using our cameras, the cameras we have value for money? Because in some places, the moment you make a traffic mistake, it is reflected and immediately you get a message and a fine. If it is reflected on your vehicle, is it possible for us to have the people who make mistakes or traffic mistakes be penalized immediately, so that at least we still get the fines and people learn how to use the roads? Then another issue is on the patrol vehicles. I usually find very many patrols, at least outside Kampala, they are parked on some points. They don't do the work during the day. And I don't think there is a place in the especially country where you find a traffic patrol vehicle doing the work. And if they try to do it, if we call them, they demand for fuel. Do we have budget for fuel in police stations across the country? Thank you so much.
While presenting also before the committee, Honorable Nyachukongoro Rosemel asked why passports get old easily, and also why don't police compensate people who have been demanding for their compensation in their lands.
Compulsorily, because when you look at what they are recommending, it is that recently acquired land, yet there is a stock of land that has been complaining. Many people have been complaining. 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. Have you tried to find out that stock of land? And people that have been suffering, others have died, by the way, before they are compensated. Why are we rushing to this recently acquired land by the parliamentary circle? Are we deliberating because we are members of the circle and therefore favoring ourselves and leaving individuals that cannot even approach the committee, that cannot even approach the headquarters? What can we do to that group of people? And another clarification, Chair, is on the quality of passports. I'm a rare traveler, very rare, but the very few times I've traveled, when you look at my passport, it's faded. What has happened to the quality of the passports that we have compared to even what we used to have? So I think you need to impress yourselves in that much as you are looking for more money. What has gone wrong with the quality of our passports? Thank you.
In response, Honorable Kahonda said camera development is in phases and promised that they will get there soon.
Now, 400,000 kilograms, Uganda prison says that from every 1 acre they get about 1,500. So when you break that down, that means Uganda prison is using only about 260 acres, where they actually have over 100,000 acres. Are they not concealing certain information? Thank you.
Prisons, and I remember we pushed it to Minister of Agriculture. The Minister of Agriculture extended some funding to prisons to supplement on production. So as a committee, we are also engaging other stakeholders to facilitate and motivate prisoners. Mr. Chairman, there is a HE directive on building government projects. I think that is Honorable Javira. When we engaged them, I remember on that day Honorable Javira attended, and this is one of the concerns. The concern was Minister of Health and the Minister of Education. At times they need to contract Minister of Defense, that is UPDF as brigade, to get on board. But we are also pushing them to make sure that these projects are implemented within time. Because in most cases you find
clarification, Chair.
Clarification.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
In response, Honorable Kahonda said they will look into the matter.
Ezo ni issues ezimwe nk'akakiiko ka defense ezituliyo nutukyondoozaho ahabwokuba Uganda ekaneetunga passports ziri original ziri kutakusiibuuka zitakugira hati bwanyuma yakwiza omundagaano eyibakweta ngu joint venture agreement eyi Uganda yakozire na Verdos hamwe na n'ekitongole ekya Uganda Security Printing Company nibo batwire contract eyokukora passports kandi nabo mbakubana bakora bakora passports then bine driving licenses hati mbakubamba bagitaho na n'indangamuntu so konka itwe nk'akakiiko tubire twakibarumiririze kandi nambwe twasaraho okugira ngo nanendagane eje yakozirwe nitutekwa kugigarukamu nkihanga okureba ngo obukwakurizo obwo burumu ahabwe ensonga zitari zimwe na zimwe omu implementation y'ejo project nitutekwa ntwena ngo zibe addressed so itwe nk'akakiiko aka defense ahansonga za passport turiyo nituzigarukamu kuzicyondoza kandi turiyo tugira ngo endagane yakozirwe tugigaruke mutugiye reviewing kugira ngo concerns z'abantu ebikwatire na quality ebikwatirine na cost esente ziriyo ezibakushaginga ezo zona nezi turiyo nitwenda ngo tuzigarukemu rero tubase kutambira abanya-Uganda ebintu nk'ebi.
Twahe Ronald, GNTV at Parliament.
Thank you, Twahe Ronald, and for now let's take a short commercial break. More is to come. Welcome back from that short commercial break, and in case you've just joined us, this is Gntv at 12 with ALLIAN ATUBANDIIZE. In another news, the Uganda police, through the Criminal Investigating Department, called it CID, has arrested 3 suspects linked to the murder of Dr. Gino Abiriga, the former district health officer of Masindi district. This has been revealed by the Ugandan police spokesperson Fred Enanga following the death of Dr. Gino Abiriga. The report.
The gruesome murder of the district health officer of Masindi, and we initially started by arresting the wife, that is Cherotich Betty, and we dispatched a homicide team from CID headquarters to go and support as well as coordinate the investigations. In the course of last week, our CID teams, in coordination with the territorial teams, as well as the flying squad, managed to arrest a second suspect who was a contract killer, a murder suspect hired by Cherotich Betty. Then we also managed to get the third suspect. That is the second contract killer who was also hired by Cherotich Betty, was also arrested. So we managed to thoroughly and swiftly carry out investigations and arrested the trio, that is the wife and 2 other suspects who were contracted to kill the district health officer. So the statement we are releasing is that our Directorate of CID, of course in coordination with Elgon Region, CP Region, Albertine Region, and Masindi Police, together with Flying Squad, have in custody the second prime suspect who was hired by Cherotich Betty, the wife to the late Dr. Abiriga Gino, to murder the husband. Now this third suspect who was arrested is identified as Namoreng Joshua, a 36-year-old builder of Tarovia village, Manang sub-county in Bukwo, which now brings the total number of suspects arrested in the brutal murder of Dr. Abiriga to 3. Like I indicated, Cherotich Betty, the wife, aged 31, Kipsang Martin, alias Chesebe, a 34-year-old carpenter of Roruk village, Amanang sub-county in Bukwo district. The trio conspired and murdered the doctor. Now the background that we have out of the investigations gathered indicate that the couple started staying together as husband and wife in 2019, and they were blessed with a 9-month-old baby after the loss of their firstborn and also after a miscarriage of twins. So it was established that the plot to murder the deceased began after Cherotich Betty learned about a second relationship that her husband had with a lady called Atuhura Susan in Masindi. And of course, as a result, she first hatched a plot to kill her concubine or co-wife. And the first attempt was by setting fire on her house, which was put off by neighbors. That matter remained under investigation. Again, on the 11th of December 2023, she hired Kipsang Martin at a cost of 2.5 million to help her kill her co-wife or the concubine to the doctor, and which Kipsang Martin agreed to. So 1 week after that, was on the 18th of December, she sent 500,000 to Kipsang Martin to come and target Atuhura Susan for elimination. Now this murder plot also failed on the 18th of December after the intended victim, that is Susan, failed to appear at the location where they expected her to be. So it was the result of those two failed murder plots against her co-wife that she shifted and plotted to murder her husband, whom he accused first of all for the death of their firstborn, the miscarriage of their twins, and she also was angered that the husband, that is the late doctor, would always insult her for being a bad performer sexually. So she therefore tasked Kipsang Martin to find a second person to help her murder her husband. And on the 26th of December, Kipsang, together with Namoreng Joshua, came to accomplish their mission, which also failed after the doctor woke up and closed the door. She had left the door open for them to enter and eliminate the doctor. That was on the 26th of December. Now the two contract killers, Kipsang and Nyamureng, returned to Bukwo, and again on the 6th of January 2024, she put much pressure on them to return and execute their mission. That's how they now left Bukwo and reached Masindi on the 6th of January around midday. They booked at Valentine Guest House. So during the night, she alerted them that the husband was deep asleep. So they found the gate open. She led them into the bedroom. They had two, you know, the handhold sticks. They had two of them. So they found when the victim was asleep, and they hit him on the head with the handhold stick. dragged the body to the floor, and then they slit the throat of the late doctor. They also inflicted additional injuries on the head and on the other parts of the body. So the three suspects cleaned the body, the dead body. They dressed it in the red t-shirt and blue trouser, then carried it on a stretcher, some small ladder, and dumped it 50 meters away. And of course, after the murder, the two male suspects returned to Valentine Guest House, where they dumped the blood-stained clothes in a pit latrine and left Masindi municipality on the 7th of January at 5:30 a.m. So that is basically how the murder plot was hatched and how it was actually implemented. So we managed to trace Kipsang Martin and Namreng Joshua from Bukwo, arrested them and transferred them to Masindi for further court action. All the three suspects admitted participating in the murder. We reconstructed the scenes together with them. Several tangible exhibits were recovered, which included the two hoe handles which we recovered from Bulia Sojo cell. We recovered shoes of the deceased with the suspect, clothes of the suspects which they had on that day of the murder. We retrieved a bag from the latrine at Valentine Guest House. It had a pillow cover, a mopping rag, work ID for the deceased, and several other blood-stained clothes. All samples were submitted to the Forensic Directorate for further analysis. So the IGP has uploaded the team of CID experts headed by the Deputy Director, Crime Investigations. They put up so many hours into assembling the evidence within a very short time. He also thanked the teams from Flying Squad, Albertine Region, Elgon and CP regions, the forensics teams, and our police at Masindi, who were ultimately responsible for bringing the suspects to book. We've also noticed that Macha's women are the most frequent victims in family murders. There is an increase in murders of husbands and men by women. The wife of the deceased played a key role in the cold-blooded, calculated and premeditated murder of the husband. Like always, we continue to urge spouses, lovers, and families in toxic relationships to always seek assistance from our child and family protection units. The probation officers are there to really prevail over families. We have elders within the different clans who can always prevail over misunderstandings within the family. Also local leaders. This is important before it is too late, like in this situation. So these three suspects are scheduled to appear in court for murder and related conspiracies. But one of the suspects, that is Namoreng, is also being investigated in a series of murders that have been occurring in the CP region.
Since the Non-Allied Movement Summit began sitting in Uganda at Speak Resort Munyonyo, most of the Ugandans have come out and said that they don't know what the Non-Allied Movement exactly means. Some of the Ugandans that talked to our reporter said that they think and emphasized that maybe the Non-Allied Movement summits are always there to benefit only government officials. We have more.
The Non-Allied Movement Summit Uganda 2024 is underway at Speak Resort Convention Center, Munyonyo. The Vice President of Uganda, Major Jessica Arupo, opening the meeting, highlighted the vital role in deepening cooperation for global prosperity. Jessica Arupo highlighted how Uganda joined the NAM and so far what they have achieved under this cooperation.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the government of Uganda and the people of Uganda, and indeed on my own.
Eri Namu nalibadde musanyufu singa gavumenti yalibadde ng'esobodde okukola bye tulowooza na ku kiki kye yagala tuteeke mu nkola. Biki bye twalibadde twagala eteeke mu nkola. Ekisookerwako ddala Namu nze ngenda kunnyenyamu gavumenti ebintu bya mirundi ng'esatu oba ena. Ekisookera ddala gavumenti yakirwamu mu guno okwegamba omulamwa gwe bataddewo ogw'abakungu abazze ku mukutu kubikwatagana n'ennaamwe. Gavumenti ye yakigayalirira kuba singa gavumenti yali tekigayaliridde yalikoze bweti. Gavumenti kye yalikoze yalisoose kuteekawo nteekateeka y'omwaka guli oguwedde ate neegukola nga mulamwa gwa ddala nnyo eri bannayuganda okufuna mu kintu kye baagala. Okitegeera kye ndi kugamba naye ensobi ze yakoze eri ekintu kimu kino ekintu yakitusuddeko busuuzi bwe pa. Kakati njagala ogende mu bitundu ebisingako obungi kubanga ffe mu Kampala tutambula tuli basajja abaagala ensi yaffe eri enkulaakulana kubanga abantu b'otambuddeko ennyo n'ogenda wa n'ogendawo oba osakkawo enkulaakulana bintu by'oyagala era by'oba ofunyeeyo by'osobola okuzza ku kitundu n'ogamba nti naffe twalikopye bali eri ne tusobola okutambulira ku mulamu. Nze mu kulaba okwange kiri awo kintu kya kifere. Mu bufere bwakyo kigenda kugassa bakozi ba gavumenti kigassa ffe bantu ba wansi. Okujjako ng'ogenda kumbuuza nti gwe lwaki okiraba nga kyo kintu kya kifere nze nkunnyonnyole. Kuba obufere bwa kino ekintu kya Naamwe njagala ombuulireyo kampuni ze bajje wansi w'abantu asookerwako aba wansi kubanga kampuni ze ziri ennyo nga z'abantu ba wansi yawulo ne basalawo bano abali mu gavumenti okwegaggawaza n'okweyagaliza na buli kye bali. Sirinayo suubi kubanga buli kye balikola ekigenda mu Naamu kiva mu State House. Teriyo omuntu gwe bagambye nti jangu otunda akatunda, jangu otunda emmere, leeta akaviiri, leeta kino. Waliwo abakyala be baleese kuno nga baagala ebintu bya kuno naye bagenda kuddayo nga bwe bavudde eno abantu ba wansi tutubafunyeemu wabula bali be bagenda okwekusa ku kyendowooza.
Abantu abagenye okujja wano kikyavudde nekisise badde kimanyi kati abantu bagalidde amaduuka ate oyagala mwenye ate kati oteesa nti onyigiriza
yolowooza Uganda ejja kifo omuntu owansi agenda kifunamu oba
omuntu owansi tajja kukifunamu lwansonga olidde mu ntandikwa tuli mu kunyigirizibwa ate n'ebintu bya wano
akabuza akasemba golowooza kuba wadde tetujja Uganda tejja kifunamu naye kinagirekawa ku nsi yonna
osa kati olaba ebintu bino abakulembeze baba n'ebintu byabwe nogaga bitategeera. Osanga omukulembeze waffe alina kyapulaninga ffe kyetubaddamanyi tulengera bagenyi kujja nakutugamba nti mugale amaduuka bagenyi baito ate tubayigayidde mu mwenye omwenyo faces.
All I know about now is different countries coming together to help each other solve problems, disasters, and everything. And Uganda is one of them because they have been in Uganda for this year. So many presidents or vice presidents of different countries have come. We are seeing them on TV. That's what I know about
nze kyendowooza nga Uganda kibinza okufunamu ebirowoozo byaffe okubanga binagabanyizibwako n'ebyabalala nekufunamu okuba nti ng'eggwanga tulina okufunamu nti tuyinza okugyamu ebiyinza okuyamba tukulaakulanya ng'eggwanga naye mu byonna ebiriizire tulina kaasi kubanga abagenyi abajja wano bonna baleeta kaasi mu ggwanga bajja ne bagendako mu kulambula ne bagendako mu oderwa kuba tebasuza muzaffe muzeene bali zagenze sente zonna zagenze waliwo kabadde tumanyi onaleetako bali abayo ne bonna bafunako so ndowooza basically byebyokufunamu kasente ako akajja mu mawanga nebirowoozo byafunga Uganda okugabana ebyamawanga nga tulowooza maybe mwebyo ebivugibaganya tuyinza okujjamu ekiyamba okutukulaakulanya nga owange twandibadde tulowooza nti yandifunire naye kutubuuzi era nga bwokyogedde enguziyo kizibu nnyo abalieri bwakwata ateeka mu nsawo ye naye nga mu mbeera eya bulijjo under conditions twandibadde tufunamu nga bannayuganda buli kasente akajja mu ggwanga kayingira mu treasury nga bannayuganda funa si byangu kayina engeri kawetire eyo ffena wansi netuviiramu naye nga tutandibadde tulowooza so tulowooza on a positive aspect kirungi tulongera okumanyika
oba etansanyusa yeyo kulw'abagenyi abali mu nsi yange Uganda bazze okuteesa ebiteeso byabwe nga ebibagasa naye ku saidi yange ndaba nga tebirina kyebingasiiza amazzi kubanga bwembeera nga nandibadde nesanyu nti abagenyi bwe batuuka mu nsi yange nange nandisanyuse naye yenze bwe baggalira ebweru ne batanjagirira nakutambula ne baŋŋamba nga wobeera awo bwoti kuba ejjo nabadde awo emotoka y'obagenyi netomera owa booda naye mu kifo ekyokumutwala mu ddwaliro ate gwe baavunaanye kati nolaba ennaku eyo kati mbeera musanyu kyero lyemba nsanyuka kati mu kifo gavumenti ekwate nze entwale mu ddwaliro esobole okunzijanjaba naye kati enfunaana olw'okuba lwaki nkoze eki lwaki bantomere.
Our dear viewers of Gntv, that's all we had for today, and thank you for being part of us from the time we started to the time we are coming to the end of our today's bulletin. I'm ALLIAN ATUBANDIIZE, Gntv at 12, and up next is a lunch hour service at King of Kings Church here in Kamkuzi. Please come and attend and stay tuned.